Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm chatting with my girl Aggie from Kiss My Aggie. The reason why I kind of dropped the chapters is because the book is done. I feel like that section of my life is done. Not done, but the Woman album is an accumulation of all of those chapters. So from chapter 1 all the way up to 6 was like training to come to this point in my life. I feel like I'm now coming into my own womanhood, true womanhood, which stems from kind of being okay with who you are for sure, through and through. Like I think most of my life I struggle with being okay with certain aspects of who I am. But now I think that womanhood and being a woman, I don't think it's a term that's you can just say you are lightly. Of course we're all females, but there's one thing to be a female, but then you don't want to be a female and a girl later in your life. You don't want to be still behaving like a girl. You want to come into your womanhood. So I think that I have now come into my womanhood, and I think it's been because of the many chapters. After if you go back and look at and just listen to all the chapters, this Woman album will be the sum of those and what came from all of those experiences in those albums. The best thing that I can tell a woman who is single is to be absolutely and totally and completely solid on what she wants and do not bend. When I say that, I mean, if you want to be married, you want children, whatever you want in your career, whatever you want for yourself, be solid about it. Don't be apologetic about it, and don't curtail it for anyone else. So for instance, if you're going on dates and you might feel like a guy doesn't want kids, so you might not say anything in hopes that later he will. He's not the one for you. Tell him straight away, I want children. I want to be married. I'm not interested in dating. I'm interested in, I'm interested in starting a relationship that would eventually turn into, tell the people what you want in your job, in your career, in your relationships, not just with men, but with friends. Be unapologetic. And it's important in all aspects of your life, because one aspect will bleed to the next. So if you do it with your friends, you're going to do it with a man that you meet. If you do it on your job, set boundaries. That's really what I'm saying. Set your boundaries and be steadfast on them. Don't bend for anyone. Don't bend for a man. And eventually, the man that you want will be attracted to you, because he will come to you and you will come to him, because you will attract the very thing that you are repelling. So if you're telling the universe, this is what I don't want, then everything that's left has to be what you do. So when you're steadfast and setting boundaries, you're increasing the odds. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be very, very steadfast and stubborn when it comes to what you want. Now, that doesn't mean have standards all the way to the ceiling and unrealistic. But there has to be things like, if you want a child, if you want children and a marriage, that's not unrealistic. That's a woman's God-given right, a natural God-given right. So if you run into a man that doesn't want kids, that's fine. He's not the man for you. That's not a standard you should bend on. But stuff like, I need him to have muscles or curly hair, now that's dumb. We like muscles too, but muscles you can make those. You see what I'm saying? Those are things that you maybe can change, but things like him wanting to build a family, him wanting to build a life with you, him valuing his mother, him valuing the women in his life. Pay attention to men, pay attention to what they bring to the table, and make sure that you're bringing something as well. Don't just walk in and have nothing and then expect a man to complete you and bring everything. Because then guess what? If you get into a relationship with a man that has more than you, then he'll treat you as much as you give. Ooh, was that a word? So you want to come in with worth. so that together you mean something together. You bring something together. You have worth together.
Bring me some patience, some patience.
I sat down and told my husband, it was our third date. And I was just in a place. You know, I've been dating so many athletes, this, that, and the third. And I was just in a place, just guys, just dating, hanging out, and just don't know really what I'm looking for until I just got so tired of them because they were just so superficial and just so not ready, you know. And I've spent so much time trying to get them ready, wasting time. So when Kiwane came along, another athlete, I was just like, look here, man. I told him down to on the date. I said, listen, man, I like you. You're a nice guy, you know, but I want kids. I'm 28, and I don't want. I'm not interested in dating anyone. I'm not interested in you having different girlfriends and me having a whole bunch of guys. I'm actually looking for one person. I want to be married, and I want to be married within the next 3 to 4 years. Like, I don't want to sit around 10 years and wait for a man. I'm not going to do that. He has a 3-year window. This is how I was talking to him. And he was laughing the whole time, but I was dead serious because I've been married and divorced. So I already knew, you know, what I wasn't gonna do. I already knew what I wasn't gonna tolerate, and I just didn't care anymore. I was tired. Our first date, I had on a jogging suit. I had on a jogging suit, and the booty said dangerous. And I did it on purpose. I had on flip-flops, and I said, I'm gonna comb my hair up, put some makeup on. But my outfit was very... Hey, you know, and he had like a whole nice outfit, like a linen suit and fresh ones. He probably was like, this girl is crazy. I fell asleep on his ass in the car, like just whatever, nigga. Because in my mind, it was just very, you're gonna have to like me for me. I cannot date another guy who wants to date Syleena Johnson. We gotta have a real man. And this dude ended up my husband with kids and everything. So he's still around. And so I did something right. It's got to be honest from out the gate. Don't let these men deter you from being, because then you have to continue that person. And, there's so much work. Because then when they find out, when you slack and they find out that that's not what's going on, then they switch up. And then they switch up. Oh, she's weaker than I thought. You know, you come out all strong, like you all of this, that, and the third. Then they find out you really a pushover. Oh, you can't, because it ain't who you are. The heart of a woman, the different perspectives of a woman, how we feel about different stuff, intimately, and surface. Some of our stuff is surface, but men make it so complicated, like it's a big deal. But a lot of times it's the simple things. We just be wanting to be treated like a little girl. We want our man to do that. We want our man to baby us. It's nothing like having a man just baby you. Just knowing that he's a protector and that he wants to. And it's not just opening doors. It's a whole demeanor that we want a man to have, to feel. We want to feel like, oh no, honey, my man he's not getting ready to go for that. No, honey, yeah. No, honey, my man, oh no, honey, my man don't play that. He's not. We want to feel like we're taken care of. Exactly. And just like we take care of them. They don't have to worry about starving. They don't have to worry about their kids not being taken care of. We will never allow them to fail. We will cuss somebody out in the street over them. We want the same thing in return. It's simple. In today's society, and another thing that perpetuated the title of the album, and there's so many things that made me name this album this. The simple term woman has been, the term, the ideology of, the physical being of, has been absolutely and totally disrespected throughout time. And it has gotten ridiculous lately, starting from our legislation all the way down to the nicks and crannies of your average Joe. We have been disrespected, especially black women, but just disrespected so badly. And I don't know why. I'm not sure why. The only thing that I can come up with is a misunderstanding. of each other, or the pressures of the man and them taking it out on the woman, seeing her as a threat, because for so long we've been handling things behind the scenes that now they feel threatened that we're going to take their spots. It's just outrageous. It's just outrageous. And we're responsible for a lot of foolishness as well. You know, we're lost too. But it was the man's job to help lead us in the right direction in the first place, and they failed us on that, I think. I feel like they failed us in a lot of instances. They failed our children. They failed us. They're failing the families. And I'm not to say, it's not to say that, oh, men are just terrible, they're making everything terrible. But there are women that are failing too. But the head has been the man since the beginning of time. So where did it begin? He has to be responsible. If you want to go deeper, the man was established first. The woman was taken from his rib. So if that's the case, if he was the leader, then whose fault is it? And I'm not trying to say, oh, it's fault, but that's the origin of where it needs to be fixed. That's where women, that's where this disrespect of women can end. It starts with the man. He has to be the one. They have to be the ones to put an end to it. Y'all the ones doing the disrespect. So you need to get with your people. And not only that, teach other women how to be respectful. Fathers, raise your daughters right. Be there, be in their lives. It's not just a mother that can raise a woman. It takes a father as well to teach her the morals and teach her standards. Teach her how to set boundaries and standards when it comes to men in the world and the workplace. So it's just an ongoing cycle that is just, it's sad to be a part of. And so the Woman album is to kind of is to kind of highlight us and give it's time's up, but it's also time to come in. You know, here's how we see things. It's not as bad as you think. We actually love on y'all. We want to love on y'all. We want to love ourselves too. You know, so it's a cry out, but it's heartfelt. And it is like a memoir of records. It's a memoir. It's a musical memoir.
Walk out her life, buck up her mind, and leave her like, oh.
My children watch their father treat me properly, because I demand that and won't accept anything less. But I also teach them that as well. Don't put your hand on a woman. If a woman's putting her hand on you, get away from her. Open doors. Yes, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. Respect your elders. Understand that women are different. They communicate different. You know, I talk to my 11-year-old constantly. But they're babies still. One is 8, one is 11. So just things here and there. My 11-year-old is very intelligent, so I can tell him certain things, but he doesn't even have a girlfriend yet. So I just tell him little stuff just about adult women, teachers, and things of that nature. Help her out. Pick it up for her. Open the door. Do this. You know what I'm saying? Be a gentleman. I'm teaching him how to be a gentleman, and not just a gentleman, but a good person. You know, you should have a certain level of respect for all people. The number one thing that I'm teaching him now as a black boy is respect for authority and how to keep his cool. Because right now, in our country, any type of aggression from a black man is a threat. And I don't want my son out there not knowing how to behave when it comes to being pulled over by a police officer or being talked to by a police officer or any of that. I'm trying to teach him to be respectful, to be calm, to stay calm, and to just really be able to control his emotions in situations. Because I think black men, we're so passionate and they've been through so much in society, they've been beat down so much that the passion comes out. And I think it's not causing all these shootings, that's for sure. But sometimes the passion, even in asking why, can be mistaken for aggression. So yeah, I definitely teach my sons, different things all the time. Things about women, things about life. Another thing with the Woman album is, the lack of love that women have for each other and the fear to try and beautify themselves, not just from the inside, but from the outside as well. I think that we owe it to ourselves to spend money on ourselves, to make ourselves better aesthetically and on the inside. I think that they complement each other. I think a lot of times if you look good, you can make yourself feel good as well, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So the Woman album is also a celebration of our bodies. It's a celebration of being beautiful, a celebration of our sexuality. You know, I stay having a good sex song. You know, I'ma keep the sex songs, and I'm gonna have more on this one. Because I think sexuality is beautiful, and I think that we need to be more comfortable with it. It's not a curse. It's not a bad thing. Of course, I think that there are limits, and I think there's a way to do it. I don't think that you have to be, you don't have to overdo it. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a tasteful way to do things, but that's just my own personal opinion. Somebody's taste is different from another. But I think that partnering with Kimo Bentley as well and her skincare line is another ode to celebrating the woman and her appearance and her beauty and her structure and how she was formed and what needs to be done to preserve that beauty from a natural standpoint. So I'm just really excited to partner with her. I use her products. Her products are all natural. They're amazing. And whatever services, I trust her because, not just because she's a black woman, because I do trust her because she's a black woman, but I do work with white women as well that are amazing. But I trust Kimo because she loves what she does and she's passionate and she's studied. So I'm excited to partner with her because she's smart and knowledgeable and passionate. And that's what attracts me, not just somebody's name or whatever the case may be, but their knowledge and their passion for that knowledge and for the growth within learning about stuff, continuous learning. So as things come out, she just keeps researching. She constantly researches to get better. And you want to be associated with a person like that because that's how I am. So I'm excited to partner with her line and everything that she's doing. We have some really cool things that we're doing, so I'm excited about that. And all of this just falls into the Woman Project, the Woman album, the celebration of a woman. I mean, listen, I used to think that Botox was for white women. I'm just gonna keep it all the way 100 until I started getting it on my forehead. I've had a line on my forehead since I'm 22, and I don't know why I was there, just probably being mean to everybody all the time. So, but I didn't like the way it looked when I started doing Sister Circle because I would we get so much makeup done every day, and then you see the crease, and I'm like, oh, that's trash. This one line across my forehead. So I started the Botox, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is amazing. It took the line away, and that's it. Nobody had to cut me open, or I got the little shots and went to work the next day. It wasn't like a big deal. So, in microneedling and different things, I've had acne all my life. So I just think that we owe it to ourselves to pamper ourselves, especially when we don't have anybody else to do it. So, we love taking care of everybody else. We love spending money on everybody else, but we don't do nothing for ourselves.
Who puts me on the list? Trying to give me all your bags. Boy, come and get your shit. And I don't deserve a man who runs up hella bills. And every time the 15 hits, you don't want to pay for it. So